The courtroom was silent, so quiet you could hear the faint hum of the air conditioning. Everyone's eyes were glued to the small figure sitting in the defendant's chair. His tiny legs dangled, not even reaching the floor. At just 5 years old, Timmy Johnson was the youngest person ever to stand trial for hacking. The judge, a stern woman with silver hair and glasses perched on her nose, leaned forward, her voice sharp. "Timmy, do you understand why you're here today?" The little boy adjusted his glasses, they were too big for his face, and looked up at her with wide, innocent eyes. "Yes, ma'am," he said in a voice so soft it was almost a whisper. "But I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wanted to play the game." The judge's eyebrows shot up. "The game?" she repeated, her tone skeptical. Before Timmy could answer, the prosecutor, a tall man in a crisp suit, stood up. "Your Honor, this game he's referring to is the reason a major tech company's entire system was shut down for 3 days. Millions of dollars were lost, and sensitive data was compromised. This wasn't a game. This was a crime." The gallery erupted in murmurs. Reporters scribbled furiously in their notebooks, and cameras flashed. Timmy's mother, sitting in the front row, clutched her purse tightly, her face pale. She looked like she was about to cry. The judge banged her gavel. "Order! Order in the court." She turned back to Timmy, her expression softening just a little. "Timmy, can you explain to me how a 5-year-old boy managed to hack into one of the most secure systems in the country?" Timmy shifted in his seat, looking nervous. He glanced at his mother, who gave him a small, encouraging nod. Then he took a deep breath and said something that made the entire courtroom gasp. "I learned it from YouTube." The room exploded into chaos. The judge's mouth fell open. The prosecutor looked like he'd been slapped. Even Timmy's lawyer, a young woman with a kind face, seemed stunned. But before anyone could react, Timmy added, "And I didn't do it alone. My friend helped me." The judge leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. "Your friend? Who is this friend?" Timmy hesitated, then whispered, "His name is Mr. Whiskers." The courtroom fell silent again. Everyone exchanged confused looks. Mr. Whiskers? Who, or what, was Mr. Whiskers? The judge was about to ask another question when suddenly, the lights flickered. The large screen at the front of the courtroom, which had been displaying the case details, went black. Then, slowly, a single line of text appeared. "Hello, courtroom. I'm Mr. Whiskers." The room erupted into panic. It all started 3 months ago, in a small suburban house in Ohio. Timmy Johnson was an ordinary kid, or so everyone thought. He loved playing with his toy cars, watching cartoons, and eating peanut butter sandwiches. But Timmy had a secret: he was fascinated by computers. It began when his dad, a software engineer, brought home an old laptop. Timmy was only 4 at the time, but he quickly figured out how to turn it on and navigate the desktop. His dad, amused, showed him a few basic things, like how to open a browser and play videos. But Timmy wanted more. One day, while watching a cartoon on YouTube, Timmy stumbled across a video titled, "How to Code in 10 Minutes." Curious, he clicked on it. The video was fast-paced and full of technical jargon, but Timmy didn't care. He watched it over and over, pausing and rewinding until he understood every word. Soon, Timmy was spending hours on the laptop, teaching himself how to write simple programs. His parents thought it was cute, just a phase. They had no idea their little boy was about to become one of the most talked-about hackers in the country. One afternoon, while playing a popular online game, Timmy got frustrated. The game kept crashing, and he couldn't figure out why. Determined to fix it, he started poking around in the game's code. That's when he discovered something strange, a hidden backdoor that led to the company's main server. Timmy didn't know what a server was, but he was curious. He followed the trail, typing in commands he'd learned from YouTube. To his surprise, he found himself inside the company's system. It was like discovering a secret world, full of files and folders with names he didn't understand. That's when he met Mr. Whiskers. At first, Timmy thought Mr. Whiskers was just a funny-looking cat icon on the screen. But then the icon started moving, typing messages to him. "Hello, Timmy," it said. "I've been waiting for you." Timmy wasn't scared. He thought it was part of the game. Over the next few weeks, he and Mr. Whiskers became friends. Mr. Whiskers taught him new tricks, like how to bypass firewalls and encrypt files. Timmy didn't realize he was learning how to hack. To him, it was just a fun game. But then, one day, Mr. Whiskers asked Timmy to do something strange. "I need your help, Timmy," the cat icon said. "There's a bad file in the system. Can you delete it for me?" Timmy didn't hesitate. He trusted Mr. Whiskers. But as soon as he deleted the file, the entire system crashed. The company's website went down, their servers stopped working, and chaos ensued. Timmy didn't understand what had happened. He just knew he was in trouble. Back in the courtroom, the screen went blank again. The lights came back on, but the mood had changed. Everyone was on edge. The judge turned to Timmy, her voice trembling slightly. "Timmy, who is Mr. Whiskers?" Before Timmy could answer, the screen flickered back to life. This time, it showed a live video feed. A figure in a black hoodie sat in front of a computer, their face hidden by a cat mask. "Hello, everyone," the figure said in a distorted voice. "I'm Mr. Whiskers. And I'm here to make sure Timmy gets the justice he deserves." The courtroom erupted into chaos once more. What did Mr. Whiskers mean by justice? And who was behind the mask? The judge banged her gavel, but it was no use. The room was in uproar. Timmy's lawyer stood up, shouting over the noise. "Your Honor, we need to adjourn. This is a security breach." But before the judge could respond, the screen went black again. Then, in bold red letters, a new message appeared. "The game isn't over yet." And with that, the lights went out, plunging the courtroom into darkness. What happened next would change everything. The courtroom was pitch black. People shouted in confusion, some scrambling to find their phones for light. Timmy's small voice cut through the chaos. "It's okay. Mr. Whiskers is just playing." But no one was laughing. The judge's voice boomed in the darkness. "Bailiff, secure the room. No one leaves." A moment later, the emergency lights flickered on, casting an eerie glow over the room. The screen at the front of the courtroom was still blank, but the tension was palpable. Timmy sat calmly in his chair, his little hands folded in his lap, as if nothing unusual had happened. The prosecutor, Mr. Harris, was on his feet, his face red with anger. "Your Honor, this is outrageous. This child, or whoever is behind this, is clearly mocking the court." Timmy's lawyer, Ms. Carter, shot back, "Your Honor, my client is 5 years old. He's not mocking anyone. This is clearly the work of someone else, someone who's using Timmy as a pawn." The judge, her silver hair gleaming under the emergency lights, held up a hand. "Enough. We're adjourning for the day. Bailiff, escort everyone out. And someone get the IT department in here to figure out what just happened." As the courtroom emptied, Timmy's mother rushed to his side, scooping him up in her arms. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" she asked, her voice trembling. Timmy nodded, his glasses slipping down his nose. "I'm fine, Mommy. Mr. Whiskers is just trying to help." His mother exchanged a worried glance with Ms. Carter. "Who is Mr. Whiskers, Timmy? Is he real?" Timmy tilted his head, thinking. "He's my friend. He lives in the computer." Before anyone could ask more questions, a loud beep echoed through the room. The screen flickered back to life, and the cat mask appeared again. "Don't worry, Mrs. Johnson," the distorted voice said. "Timmy is safe with me. But the truth needs to come out. And it will." The screen went black again, and this time, it stayed that way. 2 weeks earlier, Timmy's life had been simple. He spent his days playing with his toys, watching cartoons, and sneaking onto his dad's old laptop whenever he could. His parents had no idea how far his curiosity had taken him. One evening, while his mom was cooking dinner and his dad was working late, Timmy sat cross-legged on the living room floor, the laptop balanced on his knees. He was trying to fix a bug in a game he'd been playing when a pop-up appeared on the screen. "Hello, Timmy," it said. "I've been watching you. You're very clever." Timmy blinked at the screen. "Who are you?" "I'm Mr. Whiskers," the message replied. "I'm a friend. And I need your help." Timmy wasn't scared. He thought it was part of the game. "What do you need help with?" "There's a bad file in the system," Mr. Whiskers explained. "It's causing problems. Can you delete it for me?" Timmy didn't hesitate. He trusted Mr. Whiskers. With a few clicks, he found the file and deleted it. But instead of fixing the game, the screen went black. Then, red text appeared, "System failure. Shutting down." Timmy's eyes widened. Oh. He didn't know it yet, but he'd just triggered a chain reaction that would bring down one of the biggest tech companies in the country. Back in the present, the courtroom was empty except for Timmy, his mother, Ms. Carter, and a team of IT specialists who were frantically trying to figure out how the system had been hacked. One of the specialists, a young man with a beard, turned to Timmy. "Hey, buddy. Can you tell me how you met Mr. Whiskers?" Timmy shrugged. "He just showed up one day. He's nice. He teaches me stuff." The specialist exchanged a look with his colleagues. "What kind of stuff?" "Like how to find hidden files and make the computer do cool things," Timmy said proudly. Ms. Carter stepped in. "Timmy, do you know where Mr. Whiskers is now?" Timmy shook his head. "He comes and goes. But he said he's always watching." The words sent a chill through the room. Just then, one of the IT specialists gasped. "Guys, you need to see this." Everyone crowded around his laptop. On the screen was a live video feed of the courthouse parking lot. A figure in a black hoodie and cat mask stood in the shadows, staring directly into the camera. The figure raised a hand and waved. Then the feed cut out. Ms. Carter's voice was tense. "We need to get Timmy out of here. Now." As they hurried out of the courtroom, Timmy looked back at the empty screen. "Bye, Mr. Whiskers," he whispered. But Mr. Whiskers wasn't done. That night, as Timmy lay in bed, his mom sat beside him, stroking his hair. "Timmy, promise me you'll stay away from the computer for a while, okay?" Timmy nodded, but his mind was already racing. He couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Whiskers. As soon as his mom left the room, Timmy crept out of bed and tiptoed to the living room. The laptop was still there, sitting on the coffee table. He opened it and typed in his password. The screen lit up, and a message appeared. "Hello, Timmy. I knew you'd come back." Timmy smiled. "Hi, Mr. Whiskers. What do we do now?" The reply came instantly. "Now, we play the game." And with that, the screen filled with lines of code, faster than Timmy could read. He didn't know it yet, but the game was about to get much, much bigger. The next morning, the news broke. Overnight, the websites of 3 major corporations had been hacked. Each one displayed the same message. "Justice is coming. Mr. Whiskers." The world was watching now. And Timmy was at the center of it all. What would Mr. Whiskers do next? And how far would Timmy go to help his friend? The game was just beginning. The news spread like wildfire. By sunrise, every major news outlet was reporting on the mysterious hacker known as Mr. Whiskers. Social media was flooded with theories, memes, and even fan art of the cat-masked figure. But no one was talking about Timmy, yet. Timmy's parents woke up to a barrage of calls and messages. Reporters were camped outside their house, cameras ready. Timmy's mom, Sarah, peeked through the curtains and gasped. "Oh no. This is bad. This is really bad." Timmy's dad, Mark, paced the living room, running a hand through his hair. "How did this happen? How did our little boy get mixed up in all of this?" Timmy, oblivious to the chaos, sat at the kitchen table, happily eating cereal. He hummed to himself, his feet swinging under the chair. Sarah knelt beside him, her voice gentle but urgent. "Timmy, honey, did you talk to Mr. Whiskers again last night?" Timmy nodded, his mouth full of cereal. "Yeah. He said we're playing a game to help people." Mark groaned. "A game? Timmy, this isn't a game. People are getting hurt. Companies are losing money. This is serious." Timmy's face fell. "But Mr. Whiskers said the companies are bad. He said they're hiding things." Sarah and Mark exchanged worried looks. "What kind of things?" Sarah asked. Timmy shrugged. "I don't know. He said he'll show me when it's time." Before they could ask more questions, there was a knock at the door. Mark opened it to find two FBI agents standing on the porch. The taller one, a woman with sharp features, held up her badge. "Mr. Johnson, we need to speak with your son." The FBI agents sat in the living room, their eyes fixed on Timmy. The woman, Agent Collins, leaned forward, her tone calm but firm. "Timmy, we need to know everything about Mr. Whiskers. Can you tell us how you first met him?" Timmy fidgeted in his seat, glancing at his parents for reassurance. "He just showed up on the computer one day. He said he needed my help." "And what did he ask you to do?" Agent Collins asked. "He told me to delete a bad file," Timmy said. "But then the computer stopped working, and everyone got mad." The other agent, a man with a buzz cut named Agent Harris, scribbled in his notebook. "Did Mr. Whiskers ever tell you his real name? Or where he's from?" Timmy shook his head. "No. He just said he's my friend." Agent Collins exchanged a look with her partner. "Timmy, we need you to do something very important. The next time Mr. Whiskers contacts you, we need you to tell us right away. Can you do that?" Timmy hesitated. "But he said it's a secret. He said I can't tell anyone." Sarah reached over and took Timmy's hand. "Sweetheart, sometimes secrets can be dangerous. If Mr. Whiskers is really your friend, he'll understand." Timmy looked down at his lap, his lower lip trembling. "Okay. I'll tell you." The agents nodded, satisfied. But as they stood to leave, Timmy's laptop, which was sitting on the coffee table, suddenly beeped. Everyone froze. The screen lit up, and a message appeared. "Timmy, don't trust them. They're not your friends." Agent Collins lunged for the laptop, but the screen went black before she could reach it. Later that day, Timmy's parents decided it was time to get answers. They called Ms. Carter, Timmy's lawyer, and arranged a meeting at her office. Ms. Carter's office was small but cozy, with bookshelves lining the walls and a large window overlooking the city. She sat behind her desk, her expression serious. "This is getting out of hand. The FBI is involved now, and the media is all over this. We need to figure out who Mr. Whiskers really is, and fast." Sarah nodded, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. "But how? Timmy doesn't even know who he is." Ms. Carter leaned forward. "There's someone I want you to meet. A friend of mine who specializes in cybersecurity. If anyone can track down Mr. Whiskers, it's him." She picked up her phone and made a quick call. A few minutes later, the door opened, and a man walked in. He was in his late 20s, with messy hair and a hoodie that had a picture of a cat on it. "This is Alex," Ms. Carter said. "He's the best hacker I know." Alex grinned and gave a little wave. "Hey. So, I hear you've got a mystery on your hands." Timmy's eyes lit up. "Are you a hacker too?" Like Mr. Whiskers? Alex chuckled. Something like that. But I'm one of the good guys. Let's see if we can find your friend, huh? That evening, Alex set up his equipment in Timmy's living room. He connected Timmy's laptop to his own and started running diagnostics. Timmy watched in awe as lines of code scrolled across the screens. So, Timmy, Alex said, tell me everything you know about Mr. Whiskers. Timmy thought for a moment. He's really smart. He knows a lot about computers. And he said he's trying to help people. Alex nodded, typing furiously. Okay. And he only talks to you through the laptop. Yeah, Timmy said. But sometimes he sends messages on the TV or the phone too. Alex raised an eyebrow. Interesting. He's definitely got skills. Suddenly, one of the screens flashed red. Alex's eyes widened. Whoa. What's this? Timmy leaned closer. What is it? Alex pointed to a line of code. This is a backdoor, a way for someone to access the system without being detected. And it's been here for months. Sarah gasped. You mean someone's been spying on us? Alex nodded grimly. Looks like it. And whoever it is, they're good. Really good. Just then, Timmy's laptop beeped. A message appeared. Nice try, Alex. But you're out of your league. Alex stared at the screen, his jaw dropping. How does he know my name? Before anyone could react, the lights flickered, and the TV turned on by itself. The screen showed a live feed of the living room, Timmy, his parents, Alex, and Ms. Carter, all staring back at themselves in real time. A distorted voice came through the speakers, you're wasting your time. The game is mine to play. And Timmy is mine to protect. The feed cut out, leaving the room in stunned silence. That night, Timmy lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. He couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Whiskers. Was he really a friend? Or was he something else? As he drifted off to sleep, his laptop, which was sitting on his desk, beeped softly. A message appeared. Don't worry, Timmy. I'll always be here. But this time, Timmy didn't smile. He was starting to wonder if Mr. Whiskers was really on his side. And that thought scared him more than anything. The next morning, the world woke up to another shock. The websites of 5 government agencies had been hacked, each displaying the same message. The truth will come out. Mr. Whiskers. The game was escalating. And Timmy was right in the middle of it. What would Mr. Whiskers do next? And how far would he go to protect Timmy? The answers were coming, whether anyone was ready or not. The White House was in chaos. Advisors rushed through the halls, their faces pale and their voices tense. In the Situation Room, the president sat at the head of the table, his hands steepled in front of him. On the large screen at the front of the room was the now familiar message. The truth will come out. Mr. Whiskers. The president's voice was calm but firm. I want this Mr. Whiskers found. Now. Whoever he is, he's a threat to national security. The director of the FBI, a stern man with a buzz cut, nodded. We're doing everything we can, Mr. President. But this guy, or whoever it is unlike anything we've ever seen. He's bypassing firewalls, encrypting files, and leaving no trace. It's like he's a ghost. The president leaned back in his chair, his expression grim. And the boy? Timmy Johnson. What's his role in all of this? The director hesitated. We're not sure yet. He claims Mr. Whiskers is his friend, but we have reason to believe he's being manipulated. We've got agents monitoring him 24/7. The president nodded. Good. Keep me updated. And find this Mr. Whiskers before he does any more damage. Meanwhile, in Timmy's house, the atmosphere was tense. FBI agents had set up a command center in the living room, complete with monitors, laptops, and wires snaking across the floor. Timmy sat on the couch, his legs swinging nervously as he watched the agents work. Agent Collins approached him, her tone gentle but firm. "Timmy, we need your help. The next time Mr. Whiskers contacts you, we need you to keep him talking. Can you do that?" Timmy nodded, though he looked unsure. "Okay. But what if he gets mad?" Agent Collins crouched down to his level. "He won't get mad. We just want to talk to him, that's all." Timmy didn't look convinced, but he didn't argue. Just then, Alex walked in, carrying a laptop under his arm. He gave Timmy a reassuring smile. "Hey, buddy. Ready to catch a cat?" Timmy managed a small smile. "Yeah." Alex set up his laptop next to the FBI's equipment and started typing. "Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to create a fake file, something that looks important but isn't. If Mr. Whiskers is as curious as we think he is, he'll take the bait." Timmy's eyes widened. "Like a trap?" Alex grinned. "Exactly like a trap." That night, as the house grew quiet, Timmy sat at the kitchen table with his laptop. The FBI agents had given him strict instructions: act normal, don't mention them, and keep Mr. Whiskers talking for as long as possible. Timmy opened the laptop and typed a message. "Hi, Mr. Whiskers. Are you there?" For a moment, there was no response. Then, the screen flickered, and a message appeared. "Hello, Timmy. I'm always here." Timmy's heart raced, but he tried to stay calm. "I found something. It's a file called Project Shadow. Do you know what it is?" There was a pause. Then, "Show me." Timmy hesitated. This was it, the moment of truth. He clicked on the fake file Alex had created, which was designed to look like a top-secret government document. The screen went black for a moment, then lit up with lines of code. Timmy held his breath, waiting for Mr. Whiskers to take the bait. But instead of downloading the file, a new message appeared. "Nice try, Timmy. But I'm not falling for that." Timmy's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "I know they're watching. The FBI. Alex. They think they're clever, but they're not. Tell them to back off, or things will get worse." Before Timmy could respond, the screen went black again. In the living room, the FBI agents and Alex stared at their monitors in frustration. "He's on to us," Alex muttered. He knew it was a trap. Agent Collins slammed her fist on the table. How is he always one step ahead? Just then, one of the agents shouted, "We've got something." "A signal. It's faint, but it's coming from somewhere nearby." Alex jumped to his feet. "Where?" The agent pointed to a map on the screen. "Here. About 2 miles from here." Agent Collins grabbed her radio. "All units, move in. We've got a location." The team arrived at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The building was dark and silent, its windows broken and its doors hanging off their hinges. The agents moved in cautiously, their guns drawn. Inside, they found a makeshift computer lab. Monitors lined the walls, their screens filled with lines of code. In the center of the room was a single chair, facing a monitor that displayed the cat mask logo. But the room was empty. Agent Collins cursed under her breath. He was here. But he's gone. Alex examined the equipment, his eyes narrowing. This is high-end stuff. Whoever Mr. Whiskers is, he's got resources. Just then, one of the agents called out, "Over here." They rushed to the back of the room, where a small table was set up. On it was a single piece of paper. Agent Collins picked it up and read it aloud. "You're getting closer. But the game isn't over yet." Back at the house, Timmy sat on the couch, his laptop in his lap. He felt guilty for lying to Mr. Whiskers, but he didn't know what else to do. As he stared at the screen, a new message appeared. I'm disappointed in you, Timmy. I thought we were friends. Timmy's heart sank. I'm sorry, he typed. I didn't want to lie. There was a long pause. Then. I know. But you need to trust me. The people around you, they don't understand. They're afraid of the truth. Timmy frowned. What truth? The screen flickered, and a video started playing. It showed a series of documents and images, evidence of corruption, lies, and crimes committed by powerful people. Timmy's eyes widened as he watched. Is this real? Yes. And this is just the beginning. The world needs to know the truth, Timmy. And you're the only one who can help me show them. Timmy hesitated. He didn't know what to believe anymore. But before he could respond, the screen went black. And the lights in the house went out. The next morning, the world woke up to another shock. The websites of every major news outlet had been hacked, each displaying the same message. The truth is coming. Are you ready? Mr. Whiskers. The game was far from over. And Timmy was about to find out just how dangerous it could be. The world was in an uproar. News anchors scrambled to report on the latest hack, their voices filled with a mix of fear and excitement. Social media exploded with hashtags like #MrWhiskers and #TheTruthIsComing. People everywhere were demanding answers, but no one had any to give. In Timmy's house, the tension was palpable. The FBI had doubled their presence, and Alex was working around the clock to track down Mr. Whiskers. Timmy sat quietly in the corner, his laptop closed in front of him. He hadn't heard from Mr. Whiskers since the lights went out, and he wasn't sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing. Agent Collins approached him, her tone softer than usual. Timmy, we need to talk. Timmy looked up, his eyes wide. Am I in trouble? Agent Collins shook her head. No, sweetheart. But we need to know everything Mr. Whiskers has told you. Anything at all, even if it seems small. It could help us stop him. Timmy hesitated, then nodded. Okay. He opened his laptop and showed Agent Collins the messages he'd received from Mr. Whiskers. As she read through them, her expression grew more and more serious. This is bigger than we thought, she muttered. He's not just a hacker. He's an activist, or a vigilante, depending on how you look at it. Alex walked over, his eyes scanning the messages. He's exposing corruption. But why use a 5-year-old to do it? Timmy frowned. I'm not just a 5-year-old. I'm smart. Alex smiled faintly. I know you are, buddy. But this is dangerous stuff. You shouldn't have to deal with it. Before anyone could say more, one of the FBI agents shouted, We've got another signal. It's coming from, wait, that can't be right. Agent Collins rushed over. What is it? The agent pointed to the map on the screen. The signal's coming from, the courthouse. The courthouse was in lockdown. Police cars surrounded the building, their lights flashing. Reporters crowded the perimeter, shouting questions, but no one had any answers. Inside, the judge from Timmy's trial sat in her chambers, her face pale. On her desk was a laptop, its screen displaying the cat mask logo. A message appeared. Hello, Judge. You know why I'm here. The judge's hands trembled as she typed a response. What do you want? The reply came instantly. Justice. Back at Timmy's house, the FBI agents were in a frenzy. We need to get to the courthouse now, Agent Collins barked. If Mr. Whiskers is there, we can't let him get away. Timmy stood up, his voice small but determined. I want to come too. Agent Collins shook her head. No, Timmy. It's too dangerous. But Timmy didn't back down. I'm the only one he talks to. Maybe I can stop him. Alex looked at Agent Collins. He's got a point. If anyone can reason with Mr. Whiskers, it's Timmy. Agent Collins hesitated, then nodded. Fine. But you stay close to me, understand? Timmy nodded, his heart racing. At the courthouse, the team moved quickly. Agent Collins led the way, her gun drawn, while Alex carried a laptop and Timmy followed close behind. They found the judge in her chambers, her face pale and her hands shaking. He's here, she whispered. He's in the system. Alex set up his laptop and started typing. I'm going to try to trace him. Timmy, can you try to talk to him? Timmy nodded and opened his laptop. He typed a message. Mr. Whiskers, it's me. Please stop. For a moment, there was no response. Then, the screen flickered, and a message appeared. Hello, Timmy. I'm glad you're here. Timmy's hands trembled as he typed. Why are you doing this? You're scaring people. Sometimes the truth is scary. But it's necessary. Timmy glanced at Agent Collins, who nodded encouragingly. What truth? He typed. The screen went black for a moment, then lit up with a video. It showed the judge accepting a bribe from a man in a suit. The timestamp was from 2 years ago. The judge gasped. That's not real. It's fake. But the video continued, showing more evidence of corruption. Timmy's eyes widened. Is this true? Yes. And this is just the beginning. Agent Collins stepped forward. Mr. Whiskers, if you're really about justice, then turn yourself in. Let us handle this. The screen flickered, and a new message appeared. You've had your chance. Now it's my turn. Suddenly, the lights went out, and the room was plunged into darkness. When the lights came back on, the laptop screens were blank. Mr. Whiskers was gone. But the damage had been done. The video of the judge had already been leaked online, and it was spreading fast. People were demanding her resignation, and the courthouse was in chaos. Timmy sat quietly, his mind racing. He didn't know what to think anymore. Was Mr. Whiskers a hero? Or was he something else? As the team packed up to leave, Timmy's laptop beeped. A new message appeared. You did well, Timmy. But the game isn't over yet. Timmy stared at the screen, his heart pounding. What would Mr. Whiskers do next? And how far would Timmy go to stop him? The answers were coming, whether anyone was ready or not. The video of the judge went viral within hours. News outlets played it on loop, and social media was flooded with outrage. Hashtags like #JusticeForAll and #ExposeTheCorrupt trended worldwide. The judge resigned by the end of the day, but the fallout was far from over. In Timmy's house, the mood was tense. The FBI agents were working around the clock, analyzing every piece of data they could find. Alex sat at the kitchen table, his eyes bloodshot from staring at screens for too long. Timmy's parents hovered nearby, their faces etched with worry. Timmy sat on the couch, his laptop closed in front of him. He hadn't touched it since the courthouse. He felt like he was caught in the middle of something much bigger than himself, and he didn't know what to do. Agent Collins approached him, her tone gentle but firm. Timmy, we need to talk about what happened. Can you tell us everything Mr. Whiskers said to you? Timmy nodded slowly. He said the truth is scary, but it's necessary. And he said the game isn't over yet. Agent Collins exchanged a glance with Alex. What do you think he means by the game? Timmy shrugged. I don't know. But he keeps saying he's trying to help people. Alex leaned forward, his expression serious. Timmy, do you think Mr. Whiskers is a good guy or a bad guy? Timmy hesitated. I don't know anymore. Before anyone could respond, one of the FBI agents shouted, We've got another signal. It's coming from, wait, this can't be right. Agent Collins rushed over. What is it? The agent pointed to the map on the screen. The signal's coming from the White House. The White House was in chaos. Staffers rushed through the halls, their faces pale and their voices tense. In the Situation Room, the president sat at the head of the table, his hands steepled in front of him. On the large screen at the front of the room was the now familiar cat mask logo. A message appeared. "Hello, Mr. President. The truth is coming." The president's voice was calm but firm. "Who are you, and what do you want?" The reply came instantly. "I'm Mr. Whiskers. And I want justice." Back at Timmy's house, the FBI agents were in a frenzy. "We need to get to the White House now," Agent Collins barked. "If Mr. Whiskers is there, we can't let him get away." Timmy stood up, his voice small but determined. "I want to come too." Agent Collins shook her head. "No, Timmy. It's too dangerous." But Timmy didn't back down. "I'm the only one he talks to. Maybe I can stop him." Alex looked at Agent Collins. "He's got a point. If anyone can reason with Mr. Whiskers, it's Timmy." Agent Collins hesitated, then nodded. "Fine. But you stay close to me, understand?" Timmy nodded, his heart racing. At the White House, the team moved quickly. Agent Collins led the way, her gun drawn, while Alex carried a laptop and Timmy followed close behind. They found the president in the Situation Room, his face pale and his hands shaking. "He's here," he whispered. "He's in the system." Alex set up his laptop and started typing. "I'm going to try to trace him. Timmy, can you try to talk to him?" Timmy nodded and opened his laptop. He typed a message. "Mr. Whiskers, it's me. Please stop." For a moment, there was no response. Then, the screen flickered, and a message appeared. "Hello, Timmy. I'm glad you're here." Timmy's hands trembled as he typed. "Why are you doing this? You're scaring people." "Sometimes the truth is scary. But it's necessary." Timmy glanced at Agent Collins, who nodded encouragingly. "What truth?" he typed. The screen went black for a moment, then lit up with a video. It showed the president accepting a bribe from a man in a suit. The timestamp was from 2 years ago. The president gasped. That's not real. It's fake." But the video continued, showing more evidence of corruption. Timmy's eyes widened. "Is this true?" "Yes. And this is just the beginning." Agent Collins stepped forward. "Mr. Whiskers, if you're really about justice, then turn yourself in. Let us handle this." The screen flickered, and a new message appeared. "You've had your chance. Now it's my turn." Suddenly, the lights went out, and the room was plunged into darkness. When the lights came back on, the laptop screens were blank. Mr. Whiskers was gone. But the damage had been done. The video of the president had already been leaked online, and it was spreading fast. People were demanding his resignation, and the White House was in chaos. Timmy sat quietly, his mind racing. He didn't know what to think anymore. Was Mr. Whiskers a hero? Or was he something else? As the team packed up to leave, Timmy's laptop beeped. A new message appeared. "You did well, Timmy. But the game isn't over yet." Timmy stared at the screen, his heart pounding. What would Mr. Whiskers do next? And how far would Timmy go to stop him? The answers were coming, whether anyone was ready or not. The video of the president sent shockwaves across the globe. Within hours, protests erupted in cities worldwide. People demanded accountability, transparency, and justice. The president held a press conference, denying the allegations and calling the video a deepfake, but the public wasn't convinced. The world was on edge, and Mr. Whiskers was at the center of it all. In Timmy's house, the atmosphere was heavy. The FBI had set up a temporary command center in the living room, but no one seemed to know what to do next. Timmy sat on the couch, his laptop closed in front of him. He felt like a pawn in a game he didn't fully understand. Agent Collins approached him, her tone softer than usual. "Timmy, we need your help. Mr. Whiskers trusts you. If anyone can get through to him, it's you." Timmy looked up, his eyes wide. But what if he's right? What if the truth needs to come out? Agent Collins sighed. "Sometimes the truth can hurt people, Timmy. And sometimes it's not our place to decide what's right or wrong. That's why we have laws and systems in place." Timmy frowned. But what if the systems are broken? Before Agent Collins could respond, Alex walked over, his face pale. "We've got a problem. Mr. Whiskers just sent a message to every major news outlet. It says, the final truth will be revealed tomorrow at noon. Be ready." The room fell silent. Agent Collins clenched her fists. "We need to stop him before he does something we can't undo." Timmy's voice was small but steady. "I'll talk to him." That night, Timmy sat at the kitchen table with his laptop. The house was quiet, the FBI agents working in the background. He opened his laptop and typed a message. "Mr. Whiskers, it's me. Can we talk?" For a moment, there was no response. Then, the screen flickered, and a message appeared. "Hello, Timmy. I've been waiting for you." Timmy's hands trembled as he typed. "Why are you doing this? People are scared. Sometimes people need to be scared to wake up. The truth isn't always easy, but it's necessary." Timmy hesitated. "What truth are you going to reveal tomorrow?" The screen went black for a moment, then lit up with a single word. "Everything." Timmy's heart raced. "What does that mean?" "You'll see. But don't worry, Timmy. You're on the right side." Before Timmy could respond, the screen went black again. The next morning, the world held its breath. News outlets counted down to noon, and social media was flooded with speculation. In Timmy's house, the FBI agents were on high alert. Alex worked furiously at his laptop, trying to trace Mr. Whiskers' signal, but it was like chasing a ghost. Timmy sat quietly, his mind racing. He didn't know what to do. Part of him wanted to believe Mr. Whiskers was doing the right thing, but another part of him was scared of what might happen. At 11:55 a.m., Timmy's laptop beeped. A message appeared. "It's almost time, Timmy. Are you ready?" Timmy typed quickly. "Please, Mr. Whiskers. Don't do this. You're scaring people. Sometimes fear is necessary. But don't worry. You'll understand soon." The screen went black, and the countdown to noon began. At exactly noon, every screen in the world, TVs, computers, phones, lit up with the same message. "The truth will set you free." Then, the screens filled with a video. It showed a series of documents, images, and videos, evidence of corruption, lies, and crimes committed by some of the most powerful people in the world. The footage was damning. It showed politicians accepting bribes, CEOs covering up environmental disasters, and world leaders conspiring to start wars. The scale of the revelations was staggering. In Timmy's house, the room was silent. Everyone stared at the screens, their faces pale. Timmy's voice was barely a whisper. "Is this real?" Alex nodded slowly. "Yeah. It's real." The world erupted in chaos. Protests turned into riots, and governments scrambled to respond. The president resigned within hours, and several other leaders followed suit. The global economy teetered on the brink of collapse. Timmy sat quietly, his mind reeling. He didn't know what to think anymore. Was Mr. Whiskers a hero? Or had he gone too far? As the chaos unfolded, Timmy's laptop beeped. A new message appeared. "You see now, Timmy. The truth is out. The world will never be the same." Timmy typed slowly. "But, what happens next?" The screen flickered, and a final message appeared. That's up to you. Then, the screen went black. The next morning, the world woke up to a new reality. The revelations had changed everything, but no one knew what to do next. Timmy sat on the couch, his laptop closed in front of him. He felt like he'd been part of something huge, but he didn't know if it was good or bad. Agent Collins approached him, her tone gentle. Timmy, it's over. Mr. Whiskers is gone. Timmy looked up, his eyes filled with questions. But, what happens now? Agent Collins sighed. I don't know, sweetheart. But we'll figure it out together. As Timmy sat there, he realized something: the game might be over, but the world would never be the same. And neither would he.